Hi, I'm Jared from KTWU. Coming up, a segment from Sunflower Journeys. If you enjoy it, please consider visiting ktwu.org to make a contribution.
With the advent of the internet and electronic media, newspapers have found it increasingly difficult to survive and prosper. For our next story, we head to Marysville, where the local newspaper continues to maintain its circulation while adapting to changing technology.
We are helping them sponsor a Run Forth running event on the 4th of July, and they've been fabulous to work with. They share a lot of the same passion of healthy lifestyles and encouraging people to be active in the community. So we're very excited about helping them celebrate their birthday anniversary event.
On July 4th, 2010, over 60 participants took part in the Run Forth event in Marysville, Kansas. The runners covered the course in the pouring rain to help celebrate the anniversary of the town's newspaper, the Marysville Advocate.
The Marysville Advocate is very instrumental in keeping this community as a community. And they do a really very good job of informing us all of different events all around the several county area, not just Marysville.
We've been here 125 years. This year is our 125th anniversary. We cover primarily Marysville, but we also cover the rest of the county, the smaller communities around us as well. We try to cover everything from government to births to deaths to tornadoes and storms. It is really important for our community to have as thorough coverage as possible, because we're really their only source of information lots of times about what's going on in this neck of the woods.
The newspaper was founded in 1885 when it was called the True Republican. Other name changes included the People's Advocate, the Advocate Democrat, and finally the Marysville Advocate in 1946. The Advocate is a weekly paper with a circulation of 5,000 in Marysville, Marshall County, and the neighboring communities. In 1975, the paper was purchased by Howard and Sharon Kessinger.
They were publishers at the Oberlin Herald and decided to move to a little larger newspaper. And my mother is originally from Marshall County, and so my father decided it was a good place to continue working in the business, and they've been here ever since. Well, I moved back about 2 years ago. I was working in newspaper journalism in other parts of the state. I had been a correspondent for the Harris Group of newspapers for 10 years and decided to come back and take over my father's role in the newspaper here, and he was ready to start retiring.
When Sarah returned in 2008, she became more than just the editor of the paper. She took on an important leadership role within the community.
We're all very involved in a lot of organizations, committees, different things going on, and in smaller communities around here, and event planning. So it's a community this size, you just can't stand back and watch it all happen or document it. You have to be involved.
Absolutely, yeah. You see them, their entire family, their staff. You see them at local sporting events. You see them at the Rotary meetings. You see them, at any event that's downtown or school programs. Yes, they're definitely, in the heart of every activity that's going on in the community.
I don't know if you can be as good a newspaper if you're not involved in a lot of ways. You just won't hear what's going on.
In a year that saw the demise of the Rocky Mountain News and other large newspapers, one has to wonder how the Marysville Advocate has managed to not only survive, but to thrive for over a century.
We haven't ever cut back, really, our news coverage, our newsroom staffing to any great extent. We still try to have a sports editor, and we have a features writer and someone who covers our county and city government and covers our local cops and courts. You probably won't find a staff of this size at papers this size anymore. We have evolved to have a website that goes along with our newspaper. But our print edition is still, our circulation has hung in there. It has not declined in the last 10 years like a lot of newspapers have seen. I think we've been able to hold up because we've provided as much news as we have over the years, and we try not to cut back on that. I mean, that is really why we're here.
I'm officially a news reporter. I do the county government, courts, law enforcement, and any other features and news items along the way.
The future of journalism lies in the hands of young writers like Caitlin Hassler. At a time when many young journalists are looking for careers in electronic or social media, Caitlin chose to write for the Marysville Advocate.
I just love it. The writing and the style is very different when you're putting it in an electronic medium. It's not quite the same feel, and you don't get to do the same types of things as when you're putting it out on a print edition for people to hold in their hand. And I also really enjoy the design aspect of it and making it something that draws people in and that they want to read just by seeing it there on the news shelf. I really enjoy my role here at the Advocate, that I can be sort of a go-between between the paper and our electronic version, and we've been expanding our website, adding Twitter account, but that I can use it to draw people to our print edition.
I think we're going to have to continue to focus more of our resources toward our internet site, drawing readers to our website and providing what they want to see here locally. At the same time, we also need to continue the energy that we dedicate to our paper edition.
No one can predict the future of journalism in rural communities, but one thing is for certain. Towns like Marysville cannot rely on Topeka or Kansas City media outlets to cover their news, or to contribute to their sense of community the way a local paper does.
They have a strong passion for the community. They're leaders in the community with the trail system and our local farmers market that they've been instrumental in starting up with us.
You know, this newspaper would not be as successful without such a successful community. I mean, I think it's a real symbiotic relationship. We have to have a strong community with really involved people and interesting things happening and forward-thinking leaders, and Marysville's been blessed with that in a lot of ways, and so we're just kind of a reflection of our community. At the same time, I think they rely on the newspaper to be there to cover these stories and inform people well, and that's a big thing for this paper is keeping that flow of information going.
Glad you could stop by to see a clip from Sunflower Journeys. There are more great local stories out there waiting to be discovered, but it takes help from viewers like you and me to make it happen. Visit KTWU.org right now to make a pledge.